Well, horrible tragedy in the eastern Sierra. The Round Fire claimed 40 homes, 39 in Squaw Meadows and one in Paradise, and residents were only being allowed back into the devastated areas this afternoon after that fire broke out on Friday. Now, reports from CAL FIRE this afternoon said Southern California Edison crews had power lines along and across roads, and Paradise didn't have power as of 1 p.m. today. CAL FIRE said the goal was to get re-entry for residents of Paradise by 4 p.m., followed by residents of Squaw Meadow. The Round Fire began at 2:07 p.m. on Friday, and another fire, the Van Dyke Fire near Bridgeport, also erupted on Friday. The blazes closed US 395 and have disrupted Verizon cell service in the eastern Sierra. Now, as of this morning, the Round Fire was still being reported at 7,000 acres, or about 11 square miles, with 85% containment. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Over 250 personnel were still working in the fire area today, with 20 fire engines, 14 hand crews, 4 bulldozers, 2 water tenders, and 1 helicopter. 4 firefighters have suffered injuries. There has been no reports of loss of life to date. This is from Mono County Sheriff Coroner Ingrid Braun. Now, CAL FIRE spokeswoman Captain Liz Brown reported dozens of power poles were down in Squaw Meadows and Paradise, creating hazards for about 250 residents who have been evacuated. Propane tanks were also venting, making re-entry for residents into the area dangerous. Now, CAL FIRE reports people may see smoking debris on hillsides, but it does not pose a threat to residents and structures. An evacuation center was set up at the Crowley Lake Community Center. As always, Eastern Sierra residents quickly came together to help their friends, neighbors, and those they may not know but may be in need. St. Timothy's Attic Thrift Store invites all persons with identification who lost their home and possessions in the Round Fire to take any items they need from St. Timothy's. Store hours, Monday, noon to 4, Tuesdays through Fridays, 10 to 4, and Saturdays, 11 to 2. The phone number, 760-873-8974, located at 140 Mount Whitney Alley. And St. Timothy's says, "We are here to help. God bless." Donations to the Bishop Rotary Foundation Victims Fund are tax deductible. Now, to send in a contribution, be sure that you indicate on the check that it is for the Round Fire Victims Fund. Mail it to Bishop Rotary Foundation Fire Victims Fund, and you can do that care of Van Tassel and Pagel, 119 MacGyver Suite G in Bishop. The Cast-Off in Mammoth Lakes is also accepting donations for fire victims. Also accepting donations over the weekend, and they were overwhelmed, were the Tri-County Fairgrounds, Bishop Area Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau, the Red Cross, and the Salvation Army, as well as Alta One Federal Credit Union, and Bishop Veterinary Hospital is offering free boarding for animals. Now, on Friday afternoon, about 2 hours after the Round Fire began, winds were whipping through the Round Valley area between 20 and 30 miles per hour, with gusts estimated by CAL FIRE at 70 miles per hour. I was having a little problem, as you can see here, holding that camera. Now, obviously, the wind and the heat, not good for an area experiencing its 4th straight year of drought. But when the sun went down, the winds kicked up even more to about 50 to 75 miles per hour, and the blaze grew from a reported 100 acres quickly spread to 3,000 acres. And on top of that, Friday was another record-setting temperature day for Bishop. 80 degrees. Now, that beat the previous record for February 6th, set back in 1951 by 8 degrees. By Saturday morning, the Round Fire had grown to 7,000 acres. Now, on Friday night, travelers on US 395 between Bishop and Mammoth saw an eerie, if spectacular, sight along the Sherwin Grade as flames barged up Wheeler Ridge. Now, rain began to fall after midnight, and that helped a lot as the firefighters were able to start putting out some hot spots, getting some control over the raging round fire. Now, cooperating agencies on that fire have included the United States Forest Service, Paradise Fire Department, Inyo and Mono County Sheriff's Department, California Highway Patrol. As always, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power had personnel all over. Also, the fire departments from Bishop, Big Pine, Independence, Lone Pine, Long Valley, and Wheeler Crest were there, as well as Southern California Edison and California Department of Corrections personnel. Now, all kinds of information is available on the website gis.mono.ca.gov, and you'll want to get to round fire. Now, the extent of the damage, with again 40 homes destroyed, as well as 5 structure damage made not only national news but international news as foreign papers picked up the sad story of residences burned and lives forever changed for people in Squaw Meadows and Paradise. The Van Dyke fire near Bridgeport has been mapped at 450 acres and is 75% contained as of this morning. That fire was in grass and sage fuels and did receive measurable precipitation, the Forest Service reports. Fire crews improved the fire line Sunday and mopped up lingering hot spots. Crews expected to fully contain the Van Dyke fire today. Now, initial attack response was by local fire departments as well as the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest. Bridgeport and Lee Vining fire departments were instrumental, according to the press release, during initial attack and helped prevent structure loss. Highway 395 was closed Friday night from Lee Vining northward, but did reopen. All evacuations have been lifted. Additionally, power service has been restored. However, Verizon cell service still remain down as of this morning. Now, the Southern California Edison Power Substation received damage from both fire and wind from the storm. Repair work on the station was completed Sunday night. Now, multiple agencies have responded to that Van Dyke fire, including Bridgeport, Antelope Valley, Lee Vining, Mammoth Lakes, and June Lake fire departments, Mono County Sheriff, as well as California Highway Patrol, the Marine Corps Mountain Warfare Training Center, as well as BLM, Bishop Field Office, and U.S. Forest Service, again from the Humboldt-Toyabe, as well as Inyo National Forest. The cause of the Van Dyke fire, as well as the Round fire, they both remain under investigation. Well, Deb Murphy filed this story for Sierra Wave Media. The Rossi Settlement Conference has been postponed again. The conference will now take place Friday, March 20th, before Judge Philip Argento. Kenneth and Don D. Rossi and Don D's attorney David Evans appeared in the Bishop Courthouse Thursday afternoon. Now, absent was Kenneth Rossi's attorney Gerard Harvey. Harvey was suspended beginning November 21st, 2014, and is ineligible to practice law for 90 days. Inyo County District Attorney Tom Hardy had anticipated calling for a trial date if no settlement or movement toward a settlement occurred last Thursday. Now, while expressing his frustration with the delays following the brief proceedings, Hardy said he would rather not be faced with a retrial on appeal for what he described as a long and complex case. Now, one possibility is another delay if Kenneth Rossi requests a court-appointed attorney. Previous October 6, 2014 trial date was vacated when Don D. Rossi requested a court-appointed defense attorney after her private counsel, Michael Berger, was granted a motion to be released from the case. The Rossis are facing 135 counts. The primary charge is embezzlement of $1.5 million from the Inyo County Health and Human Services Department. The Rossis were arrested in April of 2013, pleaded not guilty to the original 44 counts, and have been out on bail since April 17th, 2013. We'll be back with more news.